Hi there. Hi there, 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 hi there. Hi there. I am Neptune ASMR, or Neptune Lady ASMR, and I have some things I want to show you. So, something about myself is I love music, I love performing music, I am an opera singer, I love vinyls, I love music analysis, and so I figured that I would take the opportunity today to go over some of my favorite vinyls that I own. If you couldn't tell, this side, all of them are off my wall except for a couple. And so I have a few that I want to show you today. So, starting off with probably my most popular one is Goodbye Yellow Brick Road by Elton. And before I get started, I want to say thank you all so much for your kind words and your support. I will do everything I can to provide you with more content and better content as things go on. Speaking of, I would like to tint this down a little bit for you. There you go. Okay. So this is Goodbye Yellow Brick Road by Elton John. Now, this is an older record in the early to mid 1970s, and my favorite songs from this vinyl is Goodbye Yellow Brick Road, Benny and the Jets, Funeral for a Friend, and let's see, probably Candle in the Wind. Candle in the Wind is actually very important to Elton John because he sang that at, I believe, Princess Diana's funeral. So it's a very, very important record to me. I would say I'd give it a 7 out of 10. Only because there are some songs in this album that I don't think are relevant today, and on top of that are a little controversial, and it's not something I'm comfortable with. So, but I love it nonetheless. So, that is our first album today. These next couple albums, I lied. This one's probably the most popular one. It is my newest one to my collection. It is the Cowboy Bebop soundtrack from the 1998 anime. I love jazz. And this was a very, very sought for vinyl for my collection. Something I love so much about this record is that each person gets their own side, because there's 4 discs, except for Ein gets a record with Edward. It is one of my favorite animes of all time, next to Neon Genesis Evangelion, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, and it is a tie between Death Note and a film it's actually not like it's technically an anime, but it is an animated film called Perfect Blue. So, but if you like space and bounty hunters or cowboys, this is it. This is it. Okay. Now, we're going to be getting into things that are very near and dear to my heart. I grew up with them. I don't think I've known more than 2 people in my life that know who these people are. And that's not even me being oh, I'm so niche. It's oh, you're not gonna know. So, this one would probably be the more closely known, but it's more of the artist. So this is Parsons' project. And the record itself, at the time, was their titled album. But over time, it became Tales of Mystery and Imagination, Edgar Allan Poe. Now, the reason why it says Edgar Allan Poe is because every single song on this record is a novella or a poem by Edgar Allan Poe, but put into musical form. Some of my favorites from this record are A Dream Within a Dream, Telltale Heart, Cask of Amontillado, The System of Dr. Dar and Professor Feather, and of course, The Raven. It also has The Fall of the House of Usher, which is in many different parts because there's a lot to The Fall of the House of Usher. And then To One in Paradise. This album came out in 1976. It was remixed in 1987, and for a really long time, the original 1976 album was not available. And so, that's why we have this really old cover. It actually is a new cover that came with the 1987 remix that I honestly prefer, but the version I love is the original. So, this is probably one of my prized possessions. I've been listening to Parsons' project since I was about, I want to say, 8 years old. My next vinyl is my pride and joy. This is my favorite vinyl of all time. Judge me for it. I don't care. I am definitely going to get a tattoo of this sometime, probably by myself, because I do most of mine. This is Jeff Wayne's musical version of The War of the Worlds. And this version is narrated by Richard Burton. The newer War of the Worlds is narrated by Liam Neeson. I can't stand it. For those of you who do not know what War of the Worlds is about, it follows the reports of a reporter. You do not get to learn his name. He's an oblivious reporter. All we know is it's Richard And it follows him learning about the coming of the Martians, and him going to multiple people and them saying the chances of anything coming to Earth are 1,000,000 to 1, but still they come. And it's a full-blown invasion. And so he has to learn how to navigate through the world as is, in the hands of these large Martians with heat rays. And this is all placed in England, and mainly in London. So, absolutely stunning. Here we go. Here's some of the original art of the cylinder of the Martians. Some of my favorite songs from this record, which it goes in order. It is an entire story. Songs blend into each other in the most seamless way. It is not all recorded at the same time. But my favorites are Forever Autumn, Horsel Common and the Heat Ray, Spirit of the Man, and Brave New World. But my favorite is called Thunder Child. This is Thunder Child. You can see the edge of the steamer on the back, and if I open it, it gives you a full view. It is a compilation of progressive rock, such as electric guitars, talking boxes, but it also is accompanied by an entire symphony. So, absolutely wonderful. I think the runtime is an hour and 41 minutes. I think. Don't count me on that. I'm proud of you for getting this far. Thank you for loving and supporting me. 'Cause I love you. I have 2 more to show you. This. War of the Worlds came out in 1978. This is Todd Rundgren's Utopia titled album. The band itself is also named Utopia. This is a progressive and classic rock album, and it was composed, let's see, in 1974. The performers in Utopia is, of course, Todd Rundgren for the guitar and vocals. Everyone does vocals, but mainly Todd. Kevin Elman for percussion. Moogie Klingman for the keyboards. And M. Frog Labat for the synthesizers. Ralph Shuckett for the keyboard. And last but not least, John Seigler for the bass and cello. There are only 4 songs on this album, on the entire album. Utopia, Freak Parade, Freedom Fighters, and the Icon. The Icon is an entire side running for 30 minutes long, all done live. But my favorites are Utopia, which is 14 minutes and 21 seconds, and Freedom Fighters, which is their shortest one on the album, which is about 4 minutes long. If you like goofy and whimsical and constructive concepts within rock and classic rock, this is what you want. My favorite song of all time by Todd Rundgren in Utopia is a song called Sing Ring and the Great Glass Guitar. Sing Ring and the Great Glass Guitar is 18 minutes and 22 seconds, compiling of a story about a spirit named Harmony that gets captured from its land, and only 4 valiant heroes, which have different instruments, can go find it. Or can find the keys to unlock the chest and smash the glass guitar and save the spirit of harmony. Now, my final vinyl that I will be showing you tonight is not one I enjoy as much, but more of a sentimental because it is signed. Now, I grew up listening to this band a lot, so I don't think I've touched this in a while, but I can still appreciate them. So this is Breaking Benjamin, signed by the band members. And this is one of their newer albums, named Ember. I went to their concert back in 2018 and acquired this vinyl, which is signed. And it is not my favorite, but I do enjoy the album design, the vinyl, and I can appreciate the music that was created with it. My favorite album from this band, though, is called Phobia, with the song Evil Angel as my favorite, or Dance with the Devil. This band is an alternative, I can't say they're like metal, but they're definitely a little bit slightly harder rock. I would give it the 2000s grunge rock for sure. But that concludes not all my vinyls, but definitely the ones I would mention first if anyone asked me. I want to thank you for making it this far and for taking the time to take care of yourself tonight or today. I want you to know that you are loved and are valued. I value you. The people around you value you. And you are important. Thank you for being here.